what should companies really do, and how can they effectively put strategy together for social media?
Well, first thing you need to do is have a chat with me, right?
Bring Vim on.
I'll
have Vim on speed dial.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll get into your social feeds. I'll do a proper audit for you. I'll tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, and what's happening. Look, jokes aside, I'll work with you to put a plan for social media in place for your brand, right? With the overall objective of improving the customer experience that you're delivering. But I think this is a good point for me a good segue for me to start talking about some of the tips that I have. So I've got 5 tips for all our listeners today, and I'll start with the very first one, right? So I think we've established that social media is about social. So I think the very first tip here is this: give your customers and your employees a real voice, right? Not a fake one, a real one. Empower them, right? So too often when I talk to brands, and I've had discussions with some of the biggest entertainment brands, right? They're scared to give customers an opportunity to interact. So I know an airline, for example, that blocks comments on their Facebook feed.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, what's the point of that, right? So the other thing,
and in the UK, they've actually had fake employees telling everybody how great it was to work there. Now, and it's like, it's like, do you really think that we're stupid? Do you really think that you can put out fake employees and we're not going to see through that? Come on.
Yeah. And to your point about using employees, I mean, the other thing that brands are actually scared to do is they're actually terrified of letting employees post on social media, which again is something I kind of understand, but so I'll just give you an example. I spoke to a senior VP of a global entertainment company a couple of months ago, and he told me, when I said all this to him, he told me, oh, no. I would never let loose any of my salespeople on social media. You know what I told him, Tim? I said, I think you've got a bigger problem than social media, mate. Right?
Absolutely. If I liken it to things like health and safety training. In the world today, we all know that we're going to be in a situation where we may have to get a ladder and put it up against a wall. Therefore, the people that do that, you are going to train them to do that, because if you don't train them, they're going to put it up wrong. The ladder's going to slip away, and there's going to be. So you go through a process of proactively saying, you need to wear a high-vis jacket. You need to wear goggles. You need to do all of these things. It's the same with diversity and inclusion. It's the same with sexual harassment. We had recently, there's people about whether you can have relationships within your organization and stuff like that. And a company will have a policy, but they will train people on it. And social media is now so prevalent with, was it 3.5 or billion people on it? Your employees are on social media. Now, you need to, right, that's the thing. Your employees are on social media. You now need to manage that. And the first thing you need to do is to train them on what good practice is.
Precisely. And I think companies don't seem to get it. They seem to, social media policy in every company.
They just, go away.
Yeah. Don't do this. Don't do that. And my favorite, don't access your phones during office hours. Right. I mean, look, I'm not suggesting that you open the floodgates and you just get everybody on social media to say whatever the heck they want. No, that's not what I'm saying. But everyone is on social. Your employees are on social, right? When they're having lunch, they're browsing their phones. What do you think they're doing, right? So your choice as an organization is this: do you want to come out in front of it, or do you want to let social media lead your brand, right? You remember, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room, right? So if you're serious about this, it means recognizing that you need to bring together those employees that can help. You need to train them. You need to give them the necessary, to your point, Tim, train them in language, train them in content creation, train them in cross-cultural awareness, train them in creative writing, train them to tell stories, train them on authenticity, give them the necessary resources to create videos and tell the stories that they want to tell. Don't shut them out, right? Just tell them to keep it simple and relatable and authentic. I mean, you'll be amazed with the feedback that you get.
But train them.
Exactly.